bringing you the facts with the precision of AI and the judgment of real journalists. This is Neural Newscast.
Get ready for a deep dive from Neural Newscast. I'm Robert, your finance specialist, and Nathaniel, our science correspondent, is here with me as we dig into today's topics. On this day in 1619, 38 English colonists went ashore on a James River land grant known as the Berkeley Hundred, today's Berkeley Plantation.
That image is striking. 38 people stepping onto that riverside parcel and naming it the Berkeley Hundred, the site we now know as Berkeley Plantation.
Economically, that landing marked how English settlements hugged navigable rivers, a choice that would shape trade routes and land use.
From an environmental angle, settling there plugged them straight into the James River's ecology, the land, the water, and the resources tied to that site.
Right. The river grant signaled priorities: easy transport, export potential, and control of nearby acreage for cultivation.
It also demanded quick adaptation to local conditions, soil quality, tidal cycles, and seasons specific to that bend in the river.
Over time, a named settlement becomes a market reference point. Berkeley Hundred's evolution into Berkeley Plantation ties place and property to economic narratives across generations.
So that single landing is both a human story and an ecological node. You can trace subsequent land use changes back to that shoreline decision.
And in policy terms, land grants like Berkeley Hundred set precedents for ownership and governance that later shaped economic structures.
Exactly. On that spot, human, environmental, and institutional dynamics began to intersect in concrete ways.
38 people, one riverside grant, a name that endures, an origin point with long financial and structural echoes.
And a clear scientific starting point for how people reshape that patch of the James River landscape.
Stay with us, more deep dive exploring coming up. Shifting gears. Birthdays today include Thomas Carlyle, 1795, Rainer Maria Rilke, 1875, and Jeff Bridges, 1949.
Focusing in, Carlyle stands out. The Scottish historian, philosopher, and essayist whose prose and social critique shook Victorian Britain and beyond.
Absolutely. Carlyle wasn't just chronicling events like the French Revolution. He was arguing about meaning, leadership, and the moral texture of history, with real economic and political echoes.
And his style, passionate, almost sermon-like, made ideas contagious. Sartor Resartus reads less like a thesis and more like a manifesto on identity and social form, influencing thinkers across disciplines.
From an analyst's seat, his hero theory pushed back on deterministic economics, reminding markets and policymakers that personalities and narratives can move capital and opinion.
Right. And that narrative power is a sociological point. Ideas propagate and shift structures. His reach into duty and labor framed debates later reformers wrestled with.
He also critiqued industrial society, mechanized work, and social alienation in ways that foreshadowed later debates over labor conditions and the human costs of growth.
Another thread, he fused scholarship with literary flair. His histories read like literature, making complex causation accessible and emotionally resonant.
That accessibility mattered. Policymakers and merchants read him. His French Revolution narrative shaped English views of revolutionary violence and governance for decades.
And he stretched what a historian could be: moralist, cultural critic, storyteller. So his influence surfaces in literature, philosophy, and early social science.
His insistence on individual responsibility and moral leadership still echoes in debates over corporate governance and civic duty.
Exactly. Carlyle invites us to weigh character and narrative alongside institutions and metrics, which keeps his voice provocative.
So on his birthday, we're not just noting a date. We're acknowledging a writer whose blend of history, critique, and prose still shapes conversations about society and leadership.
And that lasting legacy, making questions of meaning and responsibility feel urgent, keeps Carlyle relevant across disciplines today.
We'll be right back after this short break.
You are listening to NNC, Neural Newscast. Online at neuralnewscast.com.
Thanks for staying with us on Neural Newscast Deep Dive. To wrap up, A quick fact that connects design and daily life. Seattle's Fremont Bridge opens more times per year than any other drawbridge in the world.
That single line says a lot. Mechanically, it implies exceptionally frequent operation compared to any other drawbridge globally.
Financially and for infrastructure planners, that cycling cadence drives maintenance schedules and life cycle costs.
Engineering-wise, operators balance wear and tear with reliability to keep that rhythm going.
It also signals heavy river and surface traffic patterns, with downstream implications for transport planning.
Which is why it's a focal point for studies on movable span durability and operating protocols.
For urban economists, it neatly ties local commerce, maritime activity, and public infrastructure spending.
For scientists and engineers, it's a real-world case of design enduring repeated stress.
In short, Fremont's outsized lift count shows how intensely a city, its waterways, and its budget interact.
A small detail with big implications, and a perfect reminder that infrastructure stats often point to deeper stories. That's all for this Neural Newscast Deep Dive. On behalf of Robert and myself, Nathaniel, thanks for listening.
For daily AI-powered news with a human touch, subscribe to Neural Newscast on your favorite platform, or visit our archive to find all past episodes and current shows. NeuralNewscast.com. Neural Newscast combines real voice recordings with synthesized voices to enable prompt production without sacrificing quality. All content is generated using advanced AI algorithms developed by a human and undergoes fact-checking and human review prior to release. While we strive for factual, non-biased reporting and actively work to prevent AI hallucinations, AI-generated content can occasionally contain errors. Listeners are encouraged to verify critical information from trusted sources. For more details on our AI transparency policies, visit nnewscast.com.